gorgeous.
Day's End opens a glowing treasure chest on Minnesota lakes,
It's Minnesota. Loons are all about Minnesota.
including that priceless echo.
But have you heard when they're close how loud they are?
To get close to common loons after sunset is preferable
Looks like things are getting dark enough.
for a U.S. Geological Survey trio headed out on Rush Hen Lake in the Whitefish chain.
It's really beautiful working out at night.
Research wildlife biologist Kevin Keno leads the team toward a loon territory.
As soon as we locate the birds, then we're going to move in close very slowly and attempt to capture.
Yes, capturing loons, usually in the dark since 2010, to shed needed light on their lives.
They're here for maybe 5 or 6 months of the year, but the whole other half of the year they're exposed to issues during migration and while on the wintering ground.
Back in the dark,
There they are.
the desired loon family is in its territory. And the USGS crew makes a slow, deliberate move toward the male who stays on the surface protecting his young. Minnesota's state bird, its treasure, is in the firm, caring hands of the crew just minutes into this night's run.
We have to be very careful when we're handling them because they will bite us or stab us. And so that's, when you look at us handling the bird, we're trying to maintain control of the head.
Free from the net, the bird is safely stowed.
Easy, bud. There we go.
This technique's been used for years, and we've never had an injury related to the capture.
They've caught this loon 3 times in a year.
The data that I downloaded last month, and this bird had been in the Gulf of Mexico last winter.
Knowing this loon has been to the Gulf is an important puzzle piece.
7.41.
In minutes, the USGS crew can complete each loon's picture. Blood samples have revealed a troubling story for some common loons wintering in the Gulf of Mexico.
So Carol's been interested in oil residue.
Carol Henderson of the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources has used Keno's work to measure the impact of the 2010 Deepwater Horizon oil spill.
First, we documented the fact that the loons were indeed wintering in areas affected by the oil spill. And with the geolocators, we determined the loons were feeding on the bottom of the Gulf, which is where the oil would have settled.
A third of the blood samples have shown petroleum. In addition, Henderson found evidence in unhatched eggs and dead loons from a problem more than 1,000 miles away from central Minnesota.
We determined that, yes, indeed, the loons were picking up contamination in the Gulf, both petroleum contaminants and dispersant contaminants.
This is a archival geolocator tag.
With the data, Henderson plans to seek oil spill settlement funds in part to protect the loon's Minnesota habitat on cold, deep-water lakes like some in the Whitefish chain.
Luke, here's a fecal sample for you.
Keno's also trying to learn what the loons eat in deep-water lakes, specifically Cisco fish.
I think it might highlight the importance of these deepwater Cisco lakes and understand that it's important to conserve these lakes.
After a brief stay on shore, the crew's headed back to the loon's territory. Back home in about an hour.
Now that the two adults are calling back and forth, kind of relocating each other.
This night is young, and more all-nighters await, searching for Minnesota's treasure.
It's kind of an iconic symbol of northern lakes and wilderness.
On the Whitefish chain of lakes, Greg Vandegrift for the KARE 11 News Extra.